This evening here we talk politics, we talk economy, we talk everything that affects you Nigerians. That's all we talk about. Especially if it's got to do with you, if it affects you, be it government policy as it affects you, that is what we share on this show. This show is produced by Promise, and I run you through the hot topics that we have very, very quickly. Well, today is Friday. I was supposed to have 3 gentlemen today, but they're escaping me one by one. But it's okay. Like God day. But I have good news. You people that say I don't start with good news every time. Today, I have made up my mind to start with good news. So I am beginning with a very fantastically good news today. So you know what? I want to take a listen to the good news. And that good news, you know that it's better that you hear from a horse's mouth, because they say that the snake that one person, the lizard that one person sees becomes a python. So that is why I'm starting with this amazing good news. Take a listen.
So the direct benefit and direct help to the general public. Of course, there was wage award at first. Now there's the new minimum wage. There is direct transfers to the people on the social register that has been put together by all levels of government and is being verified. And so people are paid after they have been uniquely identified biometrically, and they are paid digitally through a bank account or mobile wallet. And those payments have been rolled out. We have reached 5 million households, 25 million Nigerians, and first and second payments are being made. And that process of having a robust social register where you can reach people directly and help them with payments that allow them to now choose what their priority is and go and then deal with that priority is something that will be ongoing. A society always needs to help its poorest and its most vulnerable, no matter, because relatively you're always going to have people who need help.
All right, I don't know if you heard that, Nigeria, but if you didn't hear it, let me kindly put you through that. The Minister of Finance, Wale Udu, that was his voice. He's the Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Udu. And he says that no fewer than 5 million Nigerians and 25 million households have benefited from the federal government's 25,000 naira direct cash transfer. That was what he said there. So I hope you understand that. Should I play it again for you to understand? No fewer than 5 million Nigerians, 25 million households in Nigeria have so far benefited from the 25,000 naira direct cash transfer. Interesting one, right?
There is direct transfers to the people on the social...
All right, so I like the fact that this came directly from the horse's mouth. Today is Friday, and interestingly, ta-da! I got me 2 gentlemen in the house. Prince Francis Chilaka, thank you so much for joining me. You've been itching to talk. You cannot wait to talk. But I still have someone else in the studio. Guess who? Barrister Darlington. Yeah. Oh yeah, Prince Francis, chop me at once.
No, I'm not going to chop you, but I just don't understand.
You're not going to chop me. I don't understand what... You're already chopping me.
No, I don't understand what you just played.
No.
It looks like a Nollywood script that you just played. No.
It is good
because
news.
We need to see. Nigerians have become braver. Nigerians have become wiser. Nigerians have become more enlightened. How can a minister open his mouth to the public and telling us that he's sharing 25,000 naira to 5,000 households after biometrics? At what point? Where did they carry out these biometrics? Why is it that this government and the people working for this government keep lying to Nigerians? When will they be able to tell us the truth? Do you know how much, if you calculate that amount, Precious,
sir?
If you calculate that amount, do you know how many cottage industries? We're talking about a country that we're not producing. And we're saying we want to take people out of poverty. And you're sharing 25,000 naira to 5,000 households. And you believe that you're bringing them out of poverty. A bag of rice today is between 95 and 110,000.
Our life does not depend on rice, sir. Man shall not even.
But that is what the government
Even the Holy Book says it.
Preaches. Each time the government is talking about giving out palliative, the first thing that comes to their mind is rice. So rice has become the yardstick to know what Nigerians eat.
So are you saying,
And
are you doubting the efficacy?
I am doubting it because I have people who are below. I know you have people too. I know Darlington has people. How many people today? This morning I was listening to VOP, newspaper review, and I remember your presenter kept saying, if you have received this 25,000 naira, call me to verify. I left your station. I went to other stations. Nobody could call.
Oh yeah, Nigerians, if you receive the 25,000 naira and you, in fact, screenshot your transfer to government, send it to my WhatsApp. So let us make sure that it is true.
When did we become a country?
I have told them
when did we become a country of palliative?
Okay, sir.
We are not in war times.
Okay, sir.
So what is really going on? Why is it that we have reduced Nigerians to that level of 25,000 naira? What and what will that provide? How many days will that feed the family?
Sorry, sir. I was
Please
just starting. I
this
just wanted
government
to
should
start with
stop
good
taking
news.
Nigerians for granted.
If
they don't have a program, if they don't have an agenda, if they don't have a vision and a mission statement for Nigerians, they should all resign.
All right, Barrister Darlington, I'm surely this is a good news, isn't it?
In what way is that a good news to you?
Hey, 25,000 naira. At this very precarious.
You know, I was passing by and I thought.
You decided to breeze in.
Because somebody told me that.
That they dashed money, 25,000 naira.
And since you are the APC woman leader that I know, I said, let me come.
Oh, Barrister Darlington,
let me come and see whether you collected my own because I need it. Precious.
Sir.
Oh my God. In fact, we are moving forward. This is part of the reform. Yes, we are getting it. You see, when somebody wants to play pranks on you, there's nothing he will not use. In fact, in their ignorance, they will think that they are being intelligent. You get people 25,000 naira in this time and you are celebrating it, you are announcing it, you are saying it as if you have done so much. Meanwhile, we don't even know the people you are talking about. Precious, are you aware that this money is supposed to be to the poorest of the poor? Where did the Minister of Finance locate them? Did you see when he went with the press to go? At least when you are doing this type of exercise, you must carry the press along. Right now, the press should be the one telling us. Precious, true of us. The press should be the one telling us. Nothing of such. The biometrics, at least when it was being done, was it done under the ground? Was it not on the surface of the earth?
All right, Barrister Darlington, that was just an intro. Let me just run through the hot topics.
So I am telling you, there was no good news. That's what I'm just telling you.
All right. Nigeria.
The propaganda did not sing. Let them try another thing.
Nigerians, you're welcome to the show. So let's run you through the hot topics that we have this evening. Nigerians lament surge in food prices as Yuletide approaches. And another news there, neurologists raise alarm over increasing stroke cases in Nigeria. Prince Francis Chilak and Barrister Darlington, they say people are having more strokes these days. So I'm moving on to other issues. Again, DSS denies Nnamdi Kanu access to legal team. And then release 76 end bad governance protesters now. Amnesty International Sarah urged Tinubu, and that's raised quite a lot of controversy. Even underage children are not spared from T-Pain's economy. Article blasts Tinubu. And Sheikh Husani says, end bad governance minors who are ages of our children, grandchildren. Haba. Please release them now. And then I think someone else did speak about this too. That will be Peter Obi. He did say arraignment of minors disturbing, condemnable. Peter Obi knocks Nigerians. By the way, Nigerians across social media platforms react on the bail condition of the end bad governance protesters. They were given 10 million naira for bail. Meanwhile, a House of Rep member that was seen in video saying that he would kill and make somebody disappear got 500,000 naira bill. And Nigerians are saying, hey, wait a minute. What kind of justice system do we have? That a minor, that is minors, will get 10 million naira each. But a full-grown man who is supposed to be a 7 minister, who is supposed to lead by example, a 7 legislature, that is supposed to live by example, paid by taxpayers' money, is getting 500,000. But the minors who protested because of hunger and bad governance gets 10 million naira. Well, we'll get into that conversation. I just thought to let you know. But then we'll move on to other issues. Niger Assembly says it's futile for Nigerian military to deny bandits takeover of training ground as terrorists abduct 20 more victims. Terrorists abduct 20 more victims. This is crazy. Well, follow up to that conversation. Here is that Niger Assembly Speaker says bandits holding 20 kidnapped persons in military training ground right now as they talk to you now. Say they see the Lagos. These are the hot topics that we have. But this kind of matter with these two people I have in the studio. Let me go and drink water and drop cup. And when I come back, we'll begin to dissect these and other issues. Stay with us.
News on the streets. We go to bed empty hunger to the blaring halls of a hustling city.
All right, so let's just get it there. Welcome back to the show. So let's get started with the first conversation very quickly, shall we? Let's begin with food, because as Yuletide approaching Christmas, as Nigerians continue to express concerns over the relentless surge in the prices of foodstuffs and other edibles, especially with the Yuletide approaching. Now, some residents of Abuja who spoke in separate interviews with News Agency of Nigeria today, Friday, stated that the prices of most food items are unaffordable for the average citizen, while some believe that buying items in advance may help families survive during Yuletide. Others lament the lack of financial resources to do so. Should be no be who get money go buy them in advance. They say it's in hard well. They complain when they complain plenty. I don't go even fit talk all of them. Said one Mr. Bello from in Buhari said that situation was becoming worrisome, especially in local communities where 3 square meals have now become a luxury. That is, if you feed chop 3 times a day, and say you be baba. And they go do banana for you. Said it's getting worse daily. People can hardly feed 3 times a day, even though they try to manage their resources to buy what they can afford. Only those with sufficient funds can buy foodstuffs in bulk now. Well, they said a lot, but still about this, there is some sort of surge now in health condition. As a head of stroke unit in the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, Kwara State, Professor Kolawole Wahab has warned that the high burden of stroke in Nigeria was taking an epidemic proportion. That is the way people they use get stroke anyhow for inside this country. Say the thing, it don't like saying a epidemic. Now, Mr. Wahab stated this while he was speaking. In fact, according to him, he said stroke is the leading cause of death and mobility in Nigeria. That is now waiting they make people either paralyzed or they no fit or then die. In Nigeria, and that statistics shows that every 114 per 100,000 persons will have a stroke. That is, out of 100,000 persons, 114 of them will have a stroke. Yeah, and then he said that stroke is leading cause of mobility and mortality worldwide. But the Nigerian situation recently, especially the increase, is becoming worrisome. Prince Francis Chilaka, would you attribute this to the difficulty, especially because we mentioned high cost of food prices, services, transportation, everything is practically on the increase. Most people's salaries no longer take them home. Do you think that this has a thing to do with the latest surge in stroke and hypertension and other?
What are the major causes of stroke?
Whilst we're not doctors anyway, but
yes, exactly. We know that stress is one of them. We know that too much of thinking is another one. And Nigeria of today is filled with stress, pain, anger, garnishing of teeth, name it. People are not feeding well. People that should be on drugs cannot even afford the drugs. When people have malaria in Nigeria today, a lot of people are now using local brewed herbs to cure themselves. And these are the issues. So, yes, they are right. And it's not only stroke. You're talking of high blood pressure. There's a lot that is going on in the lives of Nigerians today that a lot of people do not even understand. A lot of parents are faced with accommodation issues. They are faced with school fees. They are faced with transportation to come to work. Some are even faced with the fact that their salaries are not even paid at the end of the month. So there is a lot going on in the minds, in the heads of Nigerians that are capable of causing stroke and high blood pressure. Now, bringing it to the issue of
High cost of
high
food
cost
prices.
of food prices. I think it was it on Wednesday? I remember the Federal Consumption and Protection,
FCCPC.
yes,
Yes, please.
said that they have identified the cartel that is making items go high. And up till today, nobody has been named, nobody has been prosecuted. See, let us be very honest with one another in this country. There is no cartel anywhere. So long as subsidy is gone, so long as there are taxes. This morning, somebody posted something that shocked me. She was taxed almost 900 and something thousand in her account. Maintenance.
Sorry, now that you talked about tax, please, I just remembered. Are you, Barrister Darlington, I don't know if you've noted that they now tax us for buying lights.
Yes.
Are you aware now that when you pay for utility bill,
Yeah, that's VAT.
because I bought this one, I bought
Yeah.
utility, I bought lights of 40,000 naira. I have the receipt here. It's still here. Where is it? I said I was billed
Precious.
almost 3,000 naira inside the 40,000 naira for tax.
Precious.
And when I saw the amount that was given to me, it was 37,000 something. I said, Madam, I gave you 40,000 naira. Why am I giving the value for 37? She said, Madam, it's tax. It's not me. And it dawned on me.
Now,
We didn't know this
Let
before.
me explain something to you, Precious. Hold on, please. Let me explain something to you. Do you realize that for every transaction you do on your account, immediately you are taxed?
Yes, instantly.
Now, do you also realize that at the end of the month, the banks deduct a huge sum of amount which they say is your maintenance? So I'm asking, all the taxes you collect along the line, why are you still collecting another one? So the whole thing is this: as long as these taxes are there, as long as petrol is unaffordable, as long as dollar keeps fluctuating, as long as there is insecurity in the land, the price of food items will keep soaring high.
And then the president has rejected the National Economic Council advice of withdrawing those taxes and all that. So that means bills will keep getting higher. Does it mean that these companies will not pass on Manufacturers Association
You're
of
not talking
Nigeria?
of manufacturers. Talk of importers.
So
They're gonna
they'll
it
pass on
us.
to oh wow.
That's the whole thing. So there's nothing you do in Nigeria today that you're not being taxed on, directly or indirectly. So
Because people started complaining today that they now pay 10% of all incoming transactions to personal bank accounts.
Yes.
anything you are expecting. See, anybody who sits back and tells you that the price of food items is going to come down between now and December, that person is living outside Nigeria and is living in space. If you're living in Nigeria, tighten your belt. It's going to get worse.
All right, but Barrister Darlington, you want to go with that, or I should just go to the next conversation?
Yeah, the thing is that we all saw it coming. Just like we waited until darkness has come upon us before we realized what was going on. I remember shouting from the rooftop last year that this is what this man is coming to do. But people said that he was coming to reform. Didn't you see how he put it? He said he's coming to reform. This is his own idea of reforming Nigerian economic space. And I asked myself, if you are going to reform, please, are you going to kill everybody before we can see where you are going? All the things he has put in place, Precious, even as this thing is biting hard now, there are some Nigerians who will come and support him. Oh. That is the irony of this whole thing. There are some Nigerians who will support everything Tinubu is doing now. They will tell you it is all well and good, that we should bear it. They forgot what Buhari told us 8 years ago. That we should bear it, that this hardship will soon, until 8 years passed out, no single achievement. This same man have the same system, the same modus operandi, the same idea. and Nigerians are just sitting, intact. Nobody is saying anything. Pressure, be sincere to yourself. If APC were to be in opposition and Nigeria is like this, have you imagined what would have been going on now? Please, have you imagined what they would have been doing by now? That is why I keep telling you, the reason why Tinubu has gone this far is because everybody has been hypnotized. Both the opposition, both the human rights community, both civil society, both even elders of the land. I'm telling you, something is going on somewhere, and I pray it does not blow over, because when I saw what happened in the court today, Precious,
I was going to come to that. So let's getting back to the court issue. A lot of people have complained. Peter Obi has chimed in on the conversation, and he said it is very wrong. Atiku Abubakar has spoken. Shehu Sani has spoken. Amnesty International have asked that they be released. These kids be released because they are clearly children, and a lot of people have spoken. But then one of the things that Nigerians are saying now is the fact that how is it that a Nigerian judicial system gives a 7 legislature just 500,000 naira as bail for threatening to kill and disappear a human being, but minors who may be oblivious of the nature of harm, or the crime that they've committed, who may be oblivious of the flag that they were flying, because they are minors, they are supposed not to be very sensible yet, will be given 10 million naira each. Nigerians have been reacting about that. Well, let's take a listen to what happened in court today. You're aware that about 4 of those young boys collapsed today. 3 of them were minors, the ones that collapsed. 3 were minors, 1 was an adult. They collapsed, and the judge had to, move their case, adjourn the handling of their case till they get better to be able to face trial. Let's quickly take a listen to some of the reactions from that court today.
This time is starting to be crazy. They kept it here. The prosecutor should do their business. How can you have children? What house?
Now, one of the young men was practically foaming from the mouth. They were all looking very malnourished. 4 of them were said to have fainted, or are said to have fainted in court today. Sir.
Please, was Tinubu watching this thing? No, answer me. Was he watching this scenario?
He's aware. A lot of people have spoken. I mean, we do hear that nothing passes the president by.
Look, please. There are things you do, even Satan will be angry. I'm not joking. There are things you will do, heaven will cry out. You mean somebody with a human heart saw those children like that, and he did not even intervene? They are telling us that the trial will still go on sometime in the future. Over what? Pressure, does these children look like those who will carry out a coup? What will they even carry? Is school a child's play? Can you just imagine? And the whole world was watching this thing. The international press, everybody, if you go to international media, they are using it now as a point of discussion. Precious. This is part of the reform. Can you see now? Is this how to reform a country? With this type of illegality? What happened to juvenile court? I remember in the 80s, there was one man called SSS, Yemo, a notorious child armed robber. With all the things he did, this guy was tried in a juvenile court. Until he grew up to go and serve his sentence. I equally know this other guy who never turned to evangelist, and he's now he formed the prison fellowship. A notorious child armed robber. I think in the 80s. I know their names. But look at those protests. God Almighty. Pressure, protests. What was
So Barrister Darlington, as a legal practitioner, I really would love to know the place of the law in this.
Please, I don't know how to describe it, because
would you say that the arraignment and their detainment in an adult detainment facility is legal.
Is condemned. I just mentioned juvenile court here. They are not supposed to be arraigned with adults. Which law says that? There's no law. That is why we have a juvenile court, because those who started these legal processes, they know that yes, there are deviant children, but even in their ignorance, even in their infamy, they are still children. You cannot try them with adults. That was why a juvenile court was created. So that whatever they do, go there and try them, because there is a special procedure for trying such children. I can bet my last couple, those children don't even know what you are saying. They needed somebody to interpret to them whenever this trial starts. They will need an interpreter for them to even know why they are in that court. That was why it was a special court for them, juvenile court. Are you telling me that anybody with a human blood flowing in his vein will see those children and will not shed tears? Precious.
All right, Prince.
What these people will do to Nigeria, I'm afraid though. I am very, very afraid, seriously. Because if you say that any dog that wants to die, it doesn't hear the whistle of the master. And that's my case.
All right, Prince Francis Chilaka. Alex Igweche was arraigned in court this week and was given bail to the value of 500,000 naira. And of course, Bushotis and like some. But these young men were each given 10 million naira bail. 10 million naira bail for a crime that I don't know if they really understand, following the fact that they are children. I'd like to get a reaction to it because Nigerians have been reacting. Is it right to make that comparison, first of all?
Let me say that we do not have a justice system operational in Nigeria. What we have operational is a legal system. And every Nigerian that does not have power, that does not have money, should pray never to get involved in our legal system. If you have money, a lot of things will go by. First and foremost, Alex, the threat wasn't behind. It was a threat that was recorded. And nobody will come out and say, oh, it was a doctored one. They doctored my voice. No. He threatened somebody. He threatened to kill somebody. He threatened that the person will disappear and nothing will happen. And that is why I'm asking, how many people have disappeared so far? That guy needs to be investigated. 1. 2, I think the NDLEA should investigate that parcel that was being delivered to him. Don't forget that a member of the National Assembly a few days back said that a lot of them are either drug users or drug couriers. Something is wrong with our political life. But something is wrong with our governance. You cannot look at somebody who has threatened somebody, who even slapped somebody, bodily harm, and you're giving the person 500,000 naira bail bond.
But the deputy speaker said that one of the reasons why they really can't act is because it would be unfair to act that way without, investigating properly. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Benjamin Kanu, yes.
The one that has been telling us how he's going to take over Abia State.
Does it matter, sir?
Abia State, that his own family line ruled for how many years? And they could not do one road in Abia State. Abia State was like a dungeon. And you see somebody that has come to bring a little ray of light, and you sit down threatening that you cannot be a deputy number 6, that's what he calls himself, and the governor of your state is from another party. People have forgotten patriotism. People are talking of political party, and that is why we're not moving forward. We do not have institutions that are devoid of those in power. The institution that punishes you for any crime you commit, irrespective of who you are. Now, bringing it down to these minors, what was shown today in court was the height of child abuse. There's no other way to talk about it. I've been reading about from the UN Charter, Article 6, talking about legislation and juvenile justice and administration. And Article 54 says that no child or young person should be subjected to harsh or degrading correction or punishment measures in schools or in any other institutions.
So do you think that the facility that they've been held,
It's not about facility. You are
Is
charging
against-
this,
is
you are
against
charging
this-
these children for treason. You are charging that they want to overthrow a sitting president. So if they plot the coup, it means toddlers will now become our president. What are they really talking about? What are they talking about? We have so bastardized our judicial system that the judiciary system is like nothing. It has no relevance to the life of Nigeria.
okay, so going back to some of the promises that the president made prior to this protest, he did promise that he was going to ensure the importation of waiver-free, imports waiver-free, or duty waiver-free grains, like brown rice, like, some other grains, including pharmaceutical materials and all that. Now, a lot of people complain that these kids actually protested because they're hungry, and that the president, perhaps on his part, may feel that I have addressed that hunger by the promises I made. Would you say that the president has lived up to his promise?
The president,
especially as the finance minister is saying that they've given 5 million people and to the 5 million households 25,000 naira each.
25,000. Look at those children. Do they look like children that their parents have 5,000 naira or even 1,000 naira? APC government from day one, right from Buhari time to date, has always been propaganda, nothing else. Who is importing the rice? Which companies have been given the right to import these products? I heard the government talking about apart from the money they said they share, they said they're also sharing fertilizer. And I'm asking, you are sharing fertilizer to states that flood has ravaged their farmlands. You are sharing fertilizer to states that bandits, terrorists, and Boko Haram are laying siege. So you give them the fertilizer. They go to the farm and never return again. Is that what this is all about? How can you promise food insecurity when there is total insecurity in the land? How can you? See, for me, I think this whole thing is a mockery. Let me tell you the truth. Let me be very, very honest with you. When I saw that today, I said to myself, the Bola Tinubu we have today as a president is not the same Bola Tinubu that fought for democracy in Nigeria.
He never fought it.
We simply have somebody who probably used the fight for democracy as an opportunity to gain power. Because that is what it is. If this thing had happened in another country, Nigeria would have been the first country, Nigerian president would have been the first one to condemn it as gross child abuse. You are charging minors, juveniles, and you forget that juvenile delinquency is part of maturity. If you have a child that does not play pranks as a juvenile, that child is not a child. Go and check very well.
Yeah.
Go and check very well. And then when you talk about this, you say they are carrying flags. All the religious organizations in Nigeria, are they not carrying flags? Flags of different nations? Most cars you see, are they not carrying flags of different nations? Is it not shameful that under a democratic rule, we are doing things that the military will not have done? That's what we're doing. You are charging minors for terrorism, and you are treating them like adults. Do you know that already Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder? Do you know the kind of life these children will live tomorrow? Do you know the hatred you're already instilling in the lives of these children? We need to be very careful in this
that
country.
in terms of
We need to be extremely, extremely careful, because these children that we're treating like this today, when they grow up with this mindset, the adults will run. And I'm saying it, I'm not mincing words. We need to be very careful.
All right, so moving on to other issues. You did mention security a bit and all that, or perhaps what the children may become. There's been allegation that some of the people who are the bandits of this world today and all that started with some of these I don't want to say abandoned children or Marjorie children and all that. I don't know how true that is, but I'd like to pick your mind on that. But before we get to that, let me quickly go back to the issue of Niger State. As the Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly has doubled down on a claim made on the floor of the assembly that bandits had taken over a training ground of the military in the state. So as we speak right now, in fact, over 20 passengers in 5 vehicles were reportedly kidnapped yesterday, Thursday, along the Mariga-Kontungora Road, as the Niger State House of Assembly, to accept the reality, have said that the military must accept the reality that bandits have taken over its training ground. Barrister Abdul Malik Sarakin Deji, Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly and representative for Mariga constituency, disclosed the incident during an interview with journalists, emphasizing the ongoing threat to local communities. The Speaker's comments come in response to the military's recent denial that bandits were not operating within its training grounds at the Kontungora local government area. Barrister Darlington, we keep seeing these denials from time to time, but this time around, the accuser, who is a sitting House of Assembly member, has not backed down. He's saying that I said what I said, that bandits have taken over you people's training ground, and they are still denying it. This time around, he said, in fact, they've kidnapped 20 more people from the ones they had before. How do we ascertain the truth or not about this? The truth or false about this?
Let the military take journalists to that place. Is that not?
We put a call across to one of the military personnel in charge there, and he denied it. They said it wasn't true too.
No, it's not enough. The only way to discountenance this type of allegation is for you to do what? Assemble journalists. If that place is safe as you claim, let them go around that camp and see who is there. Pressure, is that not the best thing to do? No, tell me. We are talking of the chief of army staff that we have not seen. What did they need to do? Show us where he is. Show us where he is recuperating. Show us the hospital he is. So there are things you cannot deny for too long. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time the truth will come out. Why don't they ask the Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly, where did he see what he was saying? I expected the military to call him out by now if he was carrying out a falsehood and rumor. You see, this is not the first time. Remember, the governor himself has said that bandits have taken over. We call it bandits anyway. Have taken over part of his states. He said it. The governor said it some time ago. That part of his state have been taken over. And if you check, these places are ungoverned areas in Niger State. So the military cannot continue to deny what is there. Remember, this same military, they told us more than 5 times how they killed Shekau until his fellow brothers took him out. Since the military could not do it, they did it for us. Is that not true? They even brought his praying mat, his Quran and all that to Aso Rock, and his flag. And Buhari welcomed it as if they have done, in fact, as if they have arrested Osama bin Laden when they were looking for him. He didn't ask him, what do I want to, I am looking at I want the man that you're bringing all this in for me. He celebrated it. So, my dear, a lot is happening. I told you that with time, all these things will begin to form a picture so that you and I will see clearly. All this while they are lying to us, telling us it is a farmer header class, it is bandit. the truth will come out, because nobody can hide a 6-month-old pregnancy that somebody took away your military training ground, and the army are denying it as if it was a child's play. And that place is very close to Abuja. Precious, 2 or 3 hours to Abuja. It's just a dash. Under Buhari, these people not to shoot the brigade of guards, and we dismiss it as nothing. Precious, you can imagine, for you to do that, that means you have threatened the life of the president directly, and the military are denying that is an immediate danger. There is no look. I won't even bother myself, because I know what will be. Whatever God has proposed will come to pass. All these things that we are talking now, God have already said it. That nobody can change his will. I advised these people long ago, even last year, let them slow down, because nothing you do on earth will go unpunished as long as it's against humanity. And for you to have offended God by treating those children in that manner, my dear, the punishment will be double. Go and mark it. I remember when there was a prison swap between Nigeria and UK. The UK government said, okay, they are coming to inspect where they are bringing these Nigerian prisoners to come and serve their time. They came to Kirikiri. Pressure, what they saw there was an eyesore. They said even dog cannot be reared there. You know what they did? They gave Nigerian government 700,000 pounds to build, special cells in that Kirikiri, where they now brought those guys. Now look at it. A foreign government is telling you how to treat your own people nicely. Now, if they have done that to adults, you imagine what they are doing to their own children over there.
Well, the Deputy Secretary to the United States also said something like that yesterday when this rumor broke out, and said that it would have been fake if it was in another country. It would have been fake news, but that in Nigeria anything can happen.
Let me quickly say.
So when you see this type of thing, you begin to ask yourself, is this the reform? Precious, I keep saying it, because when they call that, it's part of the reform. We have seen people who did reform in their country. After the Second World War, there was a Marshall Plan by a U.S. president. That Marshall Plan is all about what? Reflecting the economy, making things work, and immediately the world picked up. Look at Nigeria own. You are doing reform and things are getting worse. So what kind of reform is that? No, tell me, what kind of reform will make people gnash their teeth? Everything that you can think of is happening to Nigerians today, and you are calling it reform.
All right, Prince Francis Chilaka, you were about to say something.
Yes, the Nigerian military has always been one of the best in Africa and in the world. The Nigerian military has always earned not just the respect of the Nigerian people, but they've earned the respect of foreign nations. But unfortunately, this same institution has, to a large extent, brought glory to Nigeria, is allowing itself to be run over by the Nigerian political class. The Nigerian military is getting too involved in politics. And as such, they are sacrificing their professionalism on the altar of corruption. I want to appeal to the Nigerian military. I want to appeal to the armed forces of Nigeria, as they are called. Rise up to patriotism. Rise up to becoming the same military that Nigerians were proud of and Nigerians will be proud of. Rise up above the political class. What is playing out today, where the military keeps sending out different information, the people keep giving out different information, the people keep indicting the military is busy defending itself, should not be heard of. The military should uphold its professionalism. Because I'll tell you this for free. I said it the other day and I'll still say it again. Nigeria has exhibited all the characteristics of a failed state. The only thing that is keeping Nigeria together is the people, the resilience of the people, the patriotism of the ordinary Nigerians, not the patriotism of the political class, not the patriotism of the elders. It's the patriotism of the ordinary Nigerians that is still keeping Nigeria as one. I appeal to federal government. I appeal to the judiciary. What played out in court today, let us learn from it. Let us retrace our steps. Let us go back to the founding fathers of Nigeria and ask them how we can get this country back on track. Things are not going well for this country. And we need to do something urgently to get it back on track. Urgently. It is tickling. We're sitting on a keg of gunpowder. The government, the legislative, the judiciary should do more.
All right, so moving on to other issues very quickly now. The Department of State Services, DSS, today, Friday, prevented Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, from his legal team. Now, this was disclosed by Kanu's lead counsel, lawyer Ejimakor, via a post on X, aka Twitter, today. Ejimakor disclosed that DSS's latest action was in continued disobedience to a court ruling ordering Kanu access to his legal team. He vowed to continue all suspended legal processes with much vigor following the latest action. Ejimakor wrote, today, in a blatant and continuing disobedience of extant court order, the DSS barred the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from conducting a visitation with him. For this reason, all suspended legal actions to enforce compliance will proceed apace and with much vigor. We've been going back and forth with this conversation. How legal is it for a detainee to be denied his lawyers? Barrister Darlington, please.
Precious, you know, at times some of the questions you ask me.
You're the lawyer now. If I don't ask you, I will not ask myself now, sir. So
you see, when somebody is deliberately violating the law, you can only sympathize with him because he too is in bondage. You know, we are members of the United Nations, and most of these laws are domesticated here. It's just that obedience to these laws is what is the problem. People look at faces before they can obey or implement court decisions. People look at body language, and that is the bane of Nigerian society. Imagine a security agent, you know, disobeying court order on what ground? Because he has somebody backing him. If not, that action is enough to sack him from office. It's as simple as that. You cannot do that under a democratic government. You cannot do that, but because these people, somebody is playing the music they are dancing, that is why they can never obey court order. Precious, that is just the truth. So, ordinarily, are you telling me that somebody like the EFCC chairman, whom I presume is a lawyer, doesn't know what the law says? Nnamdi Kanu is undergoing trial. He's not even convicted yet. This is the time he needed his legal team most to prepare for his defense. Are you telling me that this man is not aware? They just want to break his spirit, because whenever you want to break the spirit of such a person, you put him in solitary confinement. Precious, do you know a place called the Gulag Archipelago? That is, if there is hell on earth, it is that place. The Soviet Union created it for dissidents. That's why they keep them. You need to read that book, the Gulag Archipelago. Then you know what is called a dungeon. What you have here is a playing field, though. I'm not joking. When you see what man created against his fellow man, then you now say that, so somebody can conceive such wickedness against his The only place that came close to it was where is that place at Nnamdi Adele whatever, where there's underground, where the tennis, the lagoon is very close, so water comes in from there. So this type of treatment, please, will it make for a better Nigeria? That's the question. When you treat somebody this way, are you making him a better person? Is that the correctional center? Precious,
sir,
are they correcting anything with this type of attitude? Please answer me. You can see now contradictions galore. Are they correcting anything with this type of attitude? Can somebody come out of that place better? You see, but tomorrow now, everybody in Nigeria, how did we have such a children that are very stubborn? Our children have become so unpatriotic. They have become so wicked. They have become so lawless. Who taught them? Precious, who taught them? Who instilled wickedness in their hearts? You can see now. So those people in the Western world who treat their prisoners as if they are eggshell that you cannot match harshly, they don't know what they are doing, Abi. Precious, they don't know what they are. It is you. There is no way we can get a better society with this type of attitude. You keep somebody in detention unlawfully, and you want him to come out of that place better. It's not possible. That is why Nigerian society is getting worse by the day. The one we are suffering today, you have forgotten how we started. These are children that you neglected yesterday. You treated harshly. They grew up in the streets. You never took care of them. That is where these insurgents and these terrorists are coming from. They have gone to vent their anger on the society. And you think it's a joke. Instead of you to cut, severe that linkage, that supply route, so that the next generation will not copy what is going on today, you are making it worse. Precious, you can see now. You can see what we are talking about here. They don't even know the implication of what they are doing. Tomorrow now, somebody like Tinubu or anybody who will be in office, how did we get here?
All right, so Barrister
Eh?
Darlington, the reason why I asked that question just again was because you were here with me when we interviewed the former DSS deputy director, and that says that when they get court rulings, that it is not within their power to take decision on court ruling, that court have decided that they will have to seek interpretation from the presidency, basically, before they would act.
I told you here.
So the reason I asked that question is that I'm just tired. It's becoming so. Do you think this is a case of pure witch hunt, or perhaps it's still a case of pursuing justice?
No,
because President Muhammad Buhari had said about Nnamdi Kanu's case that he would that he's leaving the court to take justice, whatever the court says. But court released him. He was not released. And then, of course, this presidency comes in, who we think that, maybe perhaps Nnamdi Kanu did not personally offend you. But then this is also going on. So how do we interpret this? Prince Francis Chilaka, maybe you would help us out.
If I go through the tribal lane, you will say no.
I am hoping you don't, sir.
I will not. But tell us, these people that they have even pardoned in the north, from Mayor Tiala leader, who formed his own militia and all that, to even other people that have done so many heinous things. Please, did Nnamdi Kanu do 1/4 of what they did? Precious, can you see now? So why is the man suffering? Even when the court have said, let him go. We don't even have a law to try him. You had the discussion between Ahmadi and the judge trying this man. They don't have anything. They just want him to remain there perpetually and see whether there is something they can hold on to. Maybe his people will not react and then go violent. They will not say, yes, we now have a very good, you want to overthrow the government. And they will start all over again. So it is not as if they don't know. They are looking for something. There is something they are looking for.
All right. So Prince Francis Chilaka, you'd like to chime in on this?
For me, it's not about Nnamdi Kanu right now. It's about the impunity with which court judgments are being treated,
disregarded
in this country. It appears that the judges just issue their judgments, and the people in high places, government agencies, decide how to go about it. If the judgment favors them, they jump around. If the government does not favor them, they'll throw it away. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is also what you have playing out in Rivers State, where judges are giving different verdicts. And in one breath, the wicked people will say, you are not obeying court judgment because it favors them. On the other hand, when it does not favor them, they will say that they don't believe in that judgment. We need to sanitize the system. We need to have a similarly independent judiciary. In Nigeria today, the judiciary is not independent. The judiciary has become a department of the executive, just as the legislative has become a department of the the executive. So these are the problems. And I'm surprised because I know that the new man, the new headsman, the new headman in DSS, I think his profile says he's a pastor. Am I right? Precious.
Sir?
I thought they said the man is a pastor.
Just go ahead. I'll verify that. I'll
Yes.
get back to you.
And I'm asking myself, if you're a pastor and
We do know that it's the EFCC boss that is a pastor.
okay, but whatever it is, if you're a man that is meant to be above board, and you're allowing people under you to do reckless things, it falls back to your table. The continuous caging of Nnamdi Kanu is gradually beginning to give a tone of bias, a tone of ethnicity. And that is what a lot of us do not want to happen. But gradually, each day, we're going to that direction, where people are beginning to say, oh, they're holding in Nnamdi Kanu because he's simply an Igbo man. But when people take up that argument, I also come up with the argument that if they're holding him because he's an Igbo man, what have the Igbo leaders done to get him out? We saw what happened with Sunday Igboho, to the point that Oni of Ife got involved, Obasanjo got involved. So why is it that the likes of the Obi on Furniture, why are they not speaking out? People will tell me, oh, that the governors have been going. The governors will go in the night. In the day, they will say to the people, release Nnamdi Kanu. In the night, they will say, hold him back.
Oh, wow, really?
But that is what is playing out. Since the last visit, where are those honorable members who signed, 50 of them who signed the petition calling for Nnamdi's release? Where are they today? People just like playing to the gallery. Everybody is using Nnamdi Kanu name and detention for political gains. I believe that this is a government that says it's a renewed hope. When you come as a government of renewed hope, you will start from the injuries, from the pains that is on ground. You try to reconcile people.
So another point to this, or angle to this, is that there are fears of whether or not Mazen Kanu is doing okay. Is he alive or dead? Is he doing okay? If his counsels have been denied access to him for this long.
You see, Precious.
Sir?
I ask myself, in the last 1 or 2 weeks, Asari Dokubo has been all over the place. We have seen him parading men as his foot soldiers and all of that. We've seen him brandizing AK-47 and all of that. We've seen him threaten the federal government that if anything happens in Rivers State, why has he not been invited by the DSS? Or why has he not been arrested? And that's why people will say, assuming that Asari Dokubo is from the southeast, will he have the same treatment? Would he not have been arrested by now? when we say Wazobia, these are the three major ethnic groups they say make up Nigeria. But today, it doesn't seem to be that way.
All right, thank you. Lagos, that's about it. The phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations we've raised tonight. I started the show by telling you that the federal government has said that it's giving out 25 million naira to different of you Nigerians. So I am actually looking forward to you coming out and telling us, yes, so I've collected my own, because the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Ndu, says no fewer than 5 million Nigerians and 25 million households. Ordinary people, they 5 million. 25 million households, they. Where don't collect 25,000 naira with the cash transfer, cash transfer, thingy of the federal government. So this is a good news, right? I like to start with that. But moving on to other stories. Nigerians lament surge in food prices as Yuletide approaches. That's also in the news. And then very quickly, neurologists raise alarm over increasing stroke cases in Nigeria. And again, DSS denies Nnamdi Kanu access to legal team. Moving on, release 76 end bad governance protesters now. Amnesty International, Sarah urged Tinubu. By the way, a follow-up to that conversation, I hear that the young men have been taken to Kuje prison because they can't meet their bail condition. So they're there right now.
That means some of them may not come out alive. With the with the state of their head, they may not come out alive. I'm not joking.
But even prisoners, are they not entitled to proper health care? Everyone is entitled to proper health care.
So it's unfortunate, seriously.
All right, then moving on. Even underage children are not spared from T-Pain's wickedness. Atiku blasts Tinubu. Vanguard carried it. It's not Precious but Precious read it. They're moving on to other issues. Still about that. Arraignment of minors, disturbing, condemnable. Peter Obi knocks Nigerian government. As though that's not enough. Shehu Sani also asked Tinubu to release and bad governors minors who are ages of his grandchildren and children. Who are ages of our children and grandchildren. Please release them. Now, moving on to other issues, Niger Assembly says it's futile for a Nigerian military to deny bandits takeover of training ground as terrorists abduct 20 more victims. 20 more of them. Because these are the hot topics that we have. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. 0817-175-6338. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Sir?
Madam Precious.
Sir?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome. What's your name, sir?
This is 110% love.
Oh, 110%. Where have you been?
Yeah, I've been around.
You've been doing willy, right? It's not good, though.
Yes, sir. I have to do willy.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Welcome.
Yeah, I beg you, here as soon as they talk about Nigeria, I just want to speak my own mind and how I feel.
Go ahead.
You understand? This is my own opinion. I'm not happy with Nigeria. I'm not happy to be part of Nigeria, to answer that name, Nigeria as a youth. You understand? And the earlier our people realize, that no hope in Nigeria, the better.
No.
No. I can say, okay, let me clarify.
Clarify.
The reason why is because in every nation where their judiciary they do not respect the law, where their military don't respect the law, there's no rule of law. These are the people we're supposed to look up to. Be like, okay, you make law and we follow your laws, but they are the one breaking it. My sister, there's no headway for we youth that is growing, that is coming up. All we have been learning and seeing from these people is either terrorism, killing people, intimidation, lack of justice and what do you want to name? Is that the place you want to train your child? Any child that you train in Nigeria will grow up like that. So this is how I feel, and I know millions of youth feel this way. Until they fix it, if they don't fix it, I feel like this will later come back to them. Thank you so much.
That's your thoughts, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello. All right, I don't have that time. Hello, good evening and welcome. Oh, you too, you left. Okay, let me go back to another. All right. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you there? Good evening. Hola, hola.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Buenas
How are you?
tardes. Welcome. I'm fine, thank you. Is this Joval?
So you're fine today? Yeah, it's Jovel.
Go
See,
ahead.
I'm happy that you're fine today, but I'm not
I'm
fine.
not fine. I'm not fine.
Let me
I'm
greet
not
the
fine anything.
prince.
I'm not
Prince,
fine.
Brother, how are you?
Prince, Precious. You say you're not fine.
I'm
I
not
heard
fine
you.
again. I'm not
Don't
fine.
worry.
I
We
take
are.
that.
We are all.
I
We
take
are.
back
We are
that
not
first
all
fine.
fine. Okay, that's better.
It's okay.
I
Go
greet the
ahead.
prince. Prince Chilak. I greet you once again today, and I greet Barrister Darlington. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Dover.
And Mr. Kerubi is not around today. Well, it's fine.
He'll be here
Precious.
next week, sir.
Promise backyard. I greet you too.
I
Precious,
can hear you.
you read a news item today about Nigerians are dying about BP. That's what I
Yes.
heard you read, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Precious.
Sir?
Why won't Nigerians be dying of high blood pressure? I think when you call it BP, for some people who are not maybe not who do not understand what you're trying to say, they will not really understand what the message you're conveying. Nigerians are dying of high blood pressure on regular basis because precious they can no longer meet up with their bills. It is what is going on today. School fees you cannot afford to pay, house rent you cannot afford to pay, even to transport yourself from one place to the other, precious. There is no longer 100 naira transport fare. Nigerians are dropped into heavy poverty. Precious, remember, when the president came to campaign, he told us clearly that he is.
Hello, Joval.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Please
make
wrap up.
things unaffordable for Nigerians who are into serious poverty. So when you think of all these things, talking about high blood pressures,
Sir?
how many Nigerians can afford to pay hospital bill today? How many Nigerians can get to the? You see, all these news items we are treating in this station. I want you, Precious, to devote a date for us to treat health issues. You will see that Nigerians no longer go to hospitals. They can't afford it.
I'll get
Ordinary
a doctor.
malaria, as
I'll
it
get
were
a
before,
doctor.
is about 50,000 naira to treat malaria now. How many persons can afford this? So Nigerians have resorted into what is called personal medication. Nigerians are dying more, and we are talking about 15 years of reform.
Thank you.
That
Thank you.
Nigerians may no longer be here. It is terrible.
Thank you.
Good
you,
evening.
Joval. I appreciate you. Good evening and welcome. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Precious.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Precious. Precious.
Sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
evening and welcome. Good evening and welcome.
My name is Miriam. Well done to those gentlemen there that are doing a great
They
work.
can hear you. Welcome. And then please be on hold
Yes.
by WhatsApp caller. All right, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to say something. Like I said it earlier, other in the morning program also. All the signs of the first state have manifested genuinely in this administration. And one thing I don't know how we are going to do is that people are keeping quiet. Where is Professor Yakubu Mahmoud that put us? Because these things are from that time up till now. And we don't know where we are heading to. Because if we say, you may say, and we may not like it, that this administration headed by Alhaji Ibrahim is just as stated in John chapter 10 verse 10. Because people are dying on daily basis. Look at what you are talking about. I even have a cousin that has stroke. He's the guy losing senior officer. He has not been paid anything. He's on stroke. My direct cousin. So every family has all this thing. And where are we heading to? So we don't know where we are heading. And people are keeping quiet. Because I'm sorry to say it. At least three positions might make a better administration and NGL, a better and NGL, the way the government is going. I'm sorry to, because the military government that we hated and we are condemning is trying to make.
Right, thank you, sir.
Trying to make it a good administration. So let's keep on talking.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Hello, good evening. Apologies for keeping you on hold for a long time. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening, my precious and
Barrister Dalet and Chilaka. I'm Mazi from Germany.
Welcome, Mazi.
You know, when you watch what is happening in Nigeria in 2024, honestly, as a Nigerian, you weep. Watching these little kids, I don't care whether they are Northerners or what the Yorubas or Igbos. Watching these little kids in Nigerian courts and a high justice, Justice Obiora Egwatu, presiding over this absurdity, that barbarism is horrible, is condemnable. If you don't condemn it, you are not a human being. I wept. Look at how these children were, they were not even given food. Because if they were given food, they wouldn't be looking like that. They were not given food.
Oh yeah, apologies about that. So, I wanted to say something about the justice all the while, but I didn't want us to take this towards tribal line. I wanted to ask if it was deliberate to give Justice Egwatu that case to handle.
Yeah.
But let me just leave that case. In fact, since the day before yesterday, I wanted to say that. But I just thought that it's not fair to drag this towards tribal line. Hello, good evening and welcome. Apologies. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Thank you. Go ahead. What's your name, sir?
Well, there is Emmanuel from Ogun State.
Manu, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, brother, it's a good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
Nigeria,
Say what?
Precious, what I want to say is that all these children that are doing all these things, does it mean that the whole world are not seeing it? Now, does it mean that Nigeria are not even, at least because people are seeing them all over the world, at least respect themselves? Why are they just doing all these things to be bringing shame to even our people that are out there? They will not even have respect again. Now, all these children, they're asking to go and get 10 million to be released. Now, did they have any food to eat before they come out for to protest? Now, where would they get 10 million naira for each person? Now, all these children, they're asked to do all this things now. I think they have parents, and the people that are doing all this things to them, they have children. Now, all this is they are doing now is not to be threatening people so that whenever you hear about protests, you go back. Because when somebody see all this is now, next time when you hear that there is protest, nobody will ever come outside. In other words, they are trying to silence protests in Nigeria. No, God is watching. One day, everybody will give account of whatever they're doing. There is life after death. Let them keep on doing. It's all about you.
Thank you. Hello, good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening.
Sorry,
I'm finally happy connecting you to your station. I thought the station was not real after all.
Oh my goodness.
We are as real as real. The
answering machine that keeps one so long and never connects one.
No, apologies.
Anyway,
at the beginning of the program,
you said we should call them if we have received the money that federal government sent to us. Yes, so me, I received it.
25 million naira.
25,000 naira. And I got
25,000 naira, yes.
1 tuber of yam for 200 naira. But the moment I got that one, I woke up and I realized I was
why are you doing like this now?
I realized this was a dream.
Eh?
I realized
and I was happy. I was going to say, oh, wow, finally.
And finally, I got to see when you were happy. I was also happy too.
After you woke up.
As I woke up, I now realized I'm back.
Is that why you did not tell me your name, by the way? What's your name, sir?
My name is Shegun.
Shegun, you're welcome. Shegun, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I already know that this kind of person cannot pay that money.
Sorry, Padanis.
Yes, my brother.
You know what my pain is in this country?
Oh, good.
You know, the person who benefited mostly, the best beneficiary of protest in this country is now in power, and he has now subdued Nigerians, and there's no way we can protest for anything. You see, I don't know. He did not just do it by what they've been doing, by their actions of shooting youths, by their actions of maiming youth and silencing people. He didn't just do it that way. He did it even, I don't want to say spiritually. There's some hypnosis that is involved in it. And and I'm not oblivious of it. Look at all of their promises. Now, unfortunately, see, with this man, we will get to pay more tax. You don't
man is. This is cheap propaganda that we can never have anywhere in the world. This man is someone who believes in taking from the poor and making the rich richer. This is someone who believes in, what our so-called old men of those who secured independence for themselves and those who amalgamated Nigeria falsely, what they have done, he wants to get more. This is someone who knows the solution of the problem of Nigeria, but he will never allow it to come to pass until his own children and his generations have been fixed in places where many years after he is gone, they will still be earning billions and trillions of dollars out of this country. You see, look at civil servants have been promised 75,000, 80,000, 85,000.
Thank you. I've spoken.
Yeah, I can tell you, I'm in Lagos State. There is no way they will pay this. These people will never pay. These are liars. These are men of occultic men that are.
No. Mba, come and be going. Thank you. I appreciate it, sir. Sir.
You know, I have told you that history does not repeat itself. It is men that repeat history. And it is said that power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts.
Absolutely, sir.
This man have gathered a lot of power.
All right.
And he's using it now to deal with everybody.
All right. Hello, good evening.
Dale, chelaka, agree to no GGIF.
You're welcome. Is that Obi? Obi Anyi?
Oh, Obi Daddy.
Obi, how is your Obi? I hope hypertension is not going near it.
My brother Dale agree. Agree to.
Okay, Obi, well done, Daddy.
I want to start with step down. Before I go to the matter proper.
Which one is step down? I never introduced step down now.
Are you to introduce
the step down is that you people are talking about money. My sister who works in the judiciary in Umaya called me that she got 50,000 twice. He doesn't know where the money came from.
Oh, wow.
What a banana republic.
She works in the judiciary and she got 50,000 twice.
You. Huh?
But it's 25,000 they say they paid. How come she's getting 50,000?
That is what there's another 50 apart from the 25,000.
Yes.
There is 50,000 for business people or something.
Yes. But she works in the judiciary and she's not a business person.
I'm telling you,
there is no register. Yeah. There is no nothing. Exactly. It's a banana republic, my sister.
No. I will not let you call our country banana republic. You know that.
It's okay. Then it's a Mercedes republic. It's okay.
Thank you. It's in a
Mercedes. No, pressure is true. Because when you're talking about biometrics, I was telling you here that if such exercise is done, remember when Nigerians were going to allow Saudi to go and capture their name and all that, you saw crowd now. You saw people. So where did you gather these people to start taking their biometrics? Were you traveling from one village to the other to gather these people? Or you are in Lagos here?
All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
In fact.
Good evening. Welcome. Are you there? Okay. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, please, I will be very brief.
Okay. Is that
please, Yeah. And then we talk about Nnamdi Kanu. Do you know why I don't blame Igbo leaders anymore? Because if you notice under Buhari, how our leaders, old men who senior Buhari, went to Abuja begging Buhari to release Nnamdi Kanu. He didn't listen to them. The worst painful one was when Ezife and other leaders were denied entering Nigerian, high court, where they were kept under the sun for 3 hours. At the end of the day, they were refused, to enter into the court. So if somebody is calling out Obi Igwe of Onitsha to do what? To go and be embarrassed by these people that they don't want them to see them around them?
All right, I appreciate you. Oh dear.
When each time this issue of Nnamdi Kanu comes up, people get too emotional, and out of emotional, they lose the content of the subject matter. The subject matter is that Nnamdi Kanu's case cannot be resolved by the judiciary. It is a political solution. And for you to have a political solution to a problem, the elders of the land must come out. Whether they will be insulted or not, they must come out. Let it be on record that they came out and did the needful first.
But he just cited instances that they've been coming out.
No, it is not. It is no. It is. See, we need to be very intentional. The Igbo elders, if they want Nnamdi Kanu out, they need to be intentional.
All right. Hello. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, precious. Good evening.
Welcome. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Odala Jesus. I'm calling from Alabama International.
Is he one?
Odala Jesus.
Yeah, Odala one no. Odala Jesus.
Welcome. People will not give me this show. Welcome. Go ahead, please. Go straight to your point, please.
All right. To my point, in terms of a law, there is something that happened to me in China back years. Based on my papers expired and I have issue with immigration. I tried to settle the issue over there. What the immigration said to me before he was born, that Chinese law have already been written, that he must obey the law. That what he will help me to do, to help me without my money back to Nigeria, and that's what they do to me. And you see, that is law.
So they cannot break their law. Yes.
This is people that obey their law. But in Nigeria here, you can see before you know, you do wuru. In terms of Nnamdi Kanu, those are our Igwe in the Eastern region. They need to wake up again. If Buhari have insulted them, they need to go so that Tinubu will insult them again, so that the world will be seeing all these things. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, so let me take more some WhatsApp messages, and I go to YouTube and take some reactions too. WhatsApp here, Precious, before you could have celebrated, you should have confirmed how many people have received. That is why now. You say, received the fake news. The fake 25K, why are people doing like this now? Antonia Ugoji, Afro Media says, please, who made up the list of 3,375 billion naira was shared among who? Whatever receive or whoever received that money should please come out. That is why I'm talking now. Let them come out now. He said, we won't leave this government to God, though, but Kama, while reporting them to Amadioha. Oh, and then this is Idowu Henry from Ojo, Lagos. I shed tears for these minors being subjected to inhumane treatment. What a horrible government. History will not forget this administration soon. And then this here then says, Cici from Lagos says, wow, I am so happy to have my precious Barrister Darlington and Prince Francis Chilaka. This is PDP. Precious Darlington and Prince. Why are you doing like this now? You guys are jokers. Now, minors came to court for judgment soon. APC will bring mad people. You people stop this one now. Please stop. Ralph from Satellite Town says, this government chose the so-called palliative and sharing of money because it's an easy way of embezzling funds with no trace. Since this government started the idea of sharing palliative and money, I personally never see anyone close to me. I haven't seen anyone close to me that have received the money. I only hear it on media. Government of no accountability and no transparency. That's what you said. And Barrister Darlington and Prince Francis Chilaka, what can 25K buy in Nigeria today? In fact, Nigerians don't need physical cash from government or rice. If you give me 25K and I spend it today, will you give me another one tomorrow? The answer is no. What about people in the village? I feel bad for those who cannot afford to eat. Not for myself. It's unfortunate that our leaders think about only their stomach and their family. It's very shameful to accept that. Thank God. Well, you said a lot. I appreciate you. And then this here says, this country is, we can keep trying to sugarcoat it. This government, they've lost its consciousness. No value. It's annoying and irritating. If you're a sane person and still living in Nigeria, I hail you. And then His Royal Highness Bisi Nwoko says it's so unfortunate to see these children in courts today because they protested against hunger. I urge the Nigerian government to release these children with immediate effect and stop bringing shame to the country. His Royal Highness Bisi Nwoko. Amechi from Afoluku says, Precious, please, where is Promise? She's been under the weather. She will be back soon, hopefully. We enjoy it more when both of you are together in the program. More of our messages are read then. I'm not complaining about Tinubu's tax or harsh policies because we saw it and warned Nigerians, but tribe and religion is religious sentiment would not allow some people. By the grace of God, we've developed shock absorber. Nigerians will continue to see strange things from government. I wait for the common man. That's what you said. Taiwo from Mota says, Nigerians that Tinubu fought for democracy, and I say he's fought for democracy. If really he did, he shouldn't be running to exile to avoid being killed by Abacha at that time. I was 13 years during 1993 riot against Abacha at Abulegba. Someone was shot in the leg right beside me. And yet we fought in the last, and someone is telling me that Tinubu fought for democracy. He did not. Instead, you call him, well, whatever you say, that's your opinion. And then Neka from Surulere says, I think this government have a reprobate mind. And have we forgotten that President told us that he will reduce our purchasing power and increase our tax? It's playing out now, and people are keeping quiet. Let us be going to the farm with the yawn. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Good evening, Precious, and your unshakable guest. You are making us happy. God bless you, my brothers. Okay, you said a lot. Pachibo from Ladipo sent in that. And bandits came to kidnap Nigerian citizens on military training ground. Precious, I beg, what's the name of the movie? I need to see it. The country is the best reality. Oh God, you guys, people should stop this now. And then this here says, is this repeated defense mechanism of our military not shaming Nigerians? Although there is no more shame in this government. And those, by the way, the new acting Chief of Army Staff has resumed today, right, Barrister Darlington?
And
so,
all the lies have come to rest.
Which lies?
Well, you remember the military came out and told us that there's no position
for acting
Chief of Army Staff. So this is what I'm talking about. The military is gradually losing its professionalism. It's immersing itself deep into politics. It is not good for it.
All right. So that's why this person here says, Precious, if the military is sure of its position, why have they not arrested the Niger State lawmaker that made that statement?
Yes. Let them call him out.
He said even Precious herself is not even ashamed of reading that shameful news of 25,000 naira cash transfer claim by the government. Serious nations are busy building their countries, and we're here talking about Comrade Godfrey from Surulere. Sorry to let you know that Nigeria is not. Okay, and then this here says, Chisco from Jagun says, where is the place of the VAPP in the case of Alexis arrogance, public violence, public disturbance, emotional, physical abuse, threat to life, senators impersonation? He said he's a serving senator. Senator impersonation. He said, where is the place for all that? In fact, he said a lot. I appreciate you, but it's really very annoying. Well, Nigerians, I beg, in the name of God, prepare yourself. Here comes Washoko and hunger. God forbid. Nigeria is not ready to be wise. That's what you said too. And then Mary from Okafa says, government should stop sharing money if there is anything like that. Apart from federal government, state government, why can't state government take charge? Set up industries, factories, support farmers, because they are collecting allocation every month. Hunger is increasing. That's what you said. You put it that way. Okay. And then, good evening, Precious. My father and my father's in the studio. In the Bible, Jesus asked his disciples to allow the children to come to him because to them belongs the kingdom of God. Yes. Why General Tinubu's, did you just say that? Why President Tinubu is detaining his own children? What are the religious leaders doing about this? For God's sake. Uchi Chuku Chiano.
Yes, I want to chip in on.
What would they do?
Unfortunately, our religious leaders have lost their truths. They can't speak anymore. These are same religious leaders in 2012 that joined this present president to go on protest at Ojota. Suddenly, the petrol that they were protesting that was moved from whether 140 to 180 or 200 is now 1,000 plus. And these religious leaders have suddenly gone deaf, dumb.
They are sabbatical.
They've gone on leave. Is that not the height of mediocrity? Okay.
All right. Moving on with the messages then. This one, this says Prince Francis, Chilak, and Precious. Happy New Month to all of you. The best weekend collab on VOP, bringing these two men together. I have introduced this program to many of my friends in Bangladesh, and I've been listening as if we're in Nigeria. Kenneth from.
That's good.
Yeah, okay. Kenneth sent in that. I appreciate you, Kenneth. All right, this says. Good morning. Okay, no, that's not for me. And Babeji from Oshodi says, "When I well done, Babeji wishes you all a nursing, God's nourishing month of November. Precious, please, Nigerians want to know what wrong Nnamdi Kanu had committed against Tinubu that made him still keeping him in the DSS custody till today. After the Nigerian competent court and one's judgment and had freed him, why won't Tinubu release him for the Igbos' sake of fairness, equity, and justice? As Igbo, Shawore, etc. were released for the Yorubas, why still holding him? Precious, Tinubu's admins called protests against bad governance, hunger, and hardship in the country treason. But who in this country has ever protested like Tinubu? Did anyone ever charge him for many treasons he committed, if that is treason? That's what you said. And then so this is one of the pillar of Islam is zakat, which simply means take from the rich and give to the poor. But in Nigeria, those in government are taking from the poor and giving to the rich. Aberdeen sent in that message.
That's the truth.
Okay. And thank you for taking VOP Family Radio Station and interaction. Please keep up doing the good work. Regards Mazi Ukukan sent in that message. And this says, I think there's a place in the Bible where it's been written that what the poor have will be taking and giving to the rich. Maybe that's actually what is playing out here.
That's not
what the poor has.
Those who don't have.
Madam Precious, good evening. The Tony Mas, first time sending message here in your VOP. Greetings, Barrister Darlington Chilaka. Well done. You can see my message, Tony Mas from Ilasamaja. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. A child that cries in his mother's back does not know the journey is far. When I looked at those children, I couldn't believe this is happening in Nigeria. Honestly, Nigerian leaders are, he said, wicked. When we have criminals, okay. How about criminals who embezzle billions of naira, but no one is arresting them? But see what we're doing to children. And Kenny Young from Ukoba says, I greet you. Please, me. I greet you. What pisses me off is everyone saying God is watching. Is God only for Nigeria? If government has made up to suffer more within 2 years of ruling every citizens, just pretend and say God is watching. Well, you said a lot. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And it says here that do you want to extend your agenda to the judiciary based on tribal affiliation? You are thinking an Igbo man was assigned to the case because you guys just can't help yourself. Who is this one?
Go down and check.
His name is FM from Ogun State. Oh wow!
We can't help ourselves.
Interesting. This here says the poorest of the poor, unfortunately, do not have bank accounts. So how were they giving the money? Okay, Franca from Iba says, why won't Nigerians have stroke and high blood pressure? The current economic situation is not easy on anyone. I was sick for 2 weeks and was placed on medication of 40k every day. If I can't afford it, what would have been my case today? Thank God I'm better now. See, Precious, Tiwa, I say Precious Tiwa. Hey, sorry here. It's like the political class have cast a spell in the citizens, because how do we explain this silence despite the wickedness being perpetrated by the ruling class? That's a question you asked. And from Agege, it's been long I read your message, Agege. How are you? It's clear even to the blind that the present political leaders in government are insensitive to the Nigerian plight. My take is basically on the children brought to court today. It's unimaginable that Nigerian would be treated this way, no matter what. Besides, why is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu still held in detention? Please, let's remember that life is a stage. Today is not tomorrow. Tomorrow holds judgment for you. Me saying as it standing fan, Abi. If you blow this one small, go blow your brother tomorrow, Abi. The original bald head Rasta says, I'm curious about to know how President Bayo Onanuga will react to all the diverse. Did you say President Bayo Onanuga?
He's the one in charge.
Diverse condemnation of the abuse of minors, which is punishable under Nigerian law. The evidence was displayed in the High Court today. Well, you said a lot about that. Let me go to YouTube now, so that YouTube people will not swear for me and you, Barrister Darlington and Prince.
In fact, the Precious, I am tempted to say something about this, but I can't because the matter is still in court.
Okay, all right.
Seriously, I am just being tempted.
Okay.
Since morning.
All right. Emmanuel Azundo says religious leaders have it bribe they can't take. Kolawole Olowale Moro says, hello, Sister Precious. What all this your talk every day is all about? No positive result from. If you don't talk, how will people know? And how would you sensitize yourself? Okay. I go back. Ken ZK says you're just coming in. Okay. I'll see if I can do a recap. Kelvin Irobohe says, my problem in all the things Tinubu is doing now is 2027. Some Nigerians will tell you that that this man that can take us to this is the man that can take us to promised land. Chizoba Sunday says, good evening, Precious, and your guests that in the studio. Well done. Chinedu Nnamdi says, Precious and Darlington and Prince Shilaka, I beg to differ. The Igbo Prince Darlington, Barrister Darlington, I beg to differ. The Igbo elders have done their best. Keeping MNK in prison is what Tinubu means when he said that he will continue from where Buhari stopped. No, Jay says, why did you cut the last guy? T-Pain is really doing a great job. Chilled Power said so. Blessing says, where is Wole Soyinka that called people names? Ben Adam says, what you guys don't know is that what you guys don't know is that any release of Nnamdi Kanu that is his end as president of that. That's not true. That's not true. I beg to differ. But going back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello?
Pressure that can never be under pressure.
Hey, I cannot. Is this Remy?
You cannot. Yes.
Is this Remy without Martins?
Without the Martins.
Precious.
Sir?
Precious.
Sir?
You see, I had a dream. If dreams come true, if truly dreams come true.
Yes, please.
I had a dream that Wike gave you check. $5,000 check.
Not be me.
To me.
No, to give to you. Okay, maybe it's to you, but not to me.
He said, if you should give me. If dreams come true, then I check my bank.
Ew.
Your dream will never come true.
All right, Mr. Ola said 10 million to bail end bad governance protesters, but 500,000 naira to bail House of Rep. Who beats you? Barman. Good job. Precious, Prince Francis Chilaka and Darlington. Have a great evening. Thank you so much. All right. Hello, good evening.
Every any minute I want to stop this $5,000. I rebook them. Now, I'm going to go straight to the point. Now, release Kanu, release him. You carry and go court. Court say, release him, agree. Then, having access to your counsel is the right of every
detainee
person.
Yes,
it is a right.
You cannot try them without having access to them, and uninterrupted. That is on supervised access. So at least you be there our law.
Exactly. I've had court cases before, both in Nigeria and elsewhere. So I know that relationship between attorney and his client. So when you disobey court order, you don't have the moral right to tell your citizens to obey court order. So I think let Kanu, if you release Kanu today, that would be the beginning of healing process to the crisis in Nigeria. The crisis in the southeast of Nigeria was caused by the government. Please,
all right,
don't say because it has not happened to you and you want to look away. Kanu in jail, Kanu in detention. It is all freedom-loving Nigeria in detention.
Thank you.
Okay? Yeah. I've been reading, Precious, please read this book, Long Walk to Freedom by Mandela.
Yeah, Mandela, yeah.
I've been telling people about this book. Please read it.
Yeah.
Anybody that has the time, read it.
Yeah, a very good book, yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Remy. Thank you. Remy, when you finish your time, my time is gone. I want to go to step down.
Look,
no, Mbamba, you have finished.
Allow my son to talk.
20 seconds.
This is corruption.
No, please, I'm begging now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 20 seconds. Now, Precious.
Yes.
The government told us it was IMF that advised them to turn Nigeria to what it is today. Now, Amnesty International has advised them release this minor. Why is that difficult for them to accept?
I wonder.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to take a break and let's go straight to our step-down conversation. Prince Francis Chilaka and Barrister Darlington. So somebody posted a comment on Twitter and said, talked about how things have happened. In fact, the comment reads, this actually happens a lot. This is one of the first generation to refuse that labor. Men have been leaving their families and returning sick for eons. So a young man tweeted and said, when my parents first separated, it was mom's first time to ever live alone at 51 years old. Dad rented a place. He couldn't take care of himself. He fell ill to H. pylori, almost dying. She took him back and nursed him now. And he felt better. And when he got better, he kicked her in the chest, almost killing her. That's what he said. And this tweet goes more and more, because he said a lot more things. Let me see if I can get more of what he said. So he said, somebody who knows them says, this actually, Ina said, okay, so Ina says, how can you ghost your wife, leave her with 3 kids, and then come back 10 years later to beg for forgiveness? Now they are disabled. Not that you're disabled. So that is the tweet that he responded to. But this young man further says that I'm actually referencing to when somebody who knows him said the case is really heartbreaking, because I remember when they were in a particular place, they're not Nigerians obviously, and we're ready to move her, and you told me told me to stop, just to stop. She doesn't want to be helped. And he responded and says, I'm actually referencing that time in this tweet. When I called you, I washed my hands off when she took him back and I had to let go. So bottom line, this young man says he's giving up on his mother because she consistently takes back the father when the father abuses him. Abuses her. So the point now is that should children, interfere in the relationship of their parents, even when there is severe domestic violence? Because he further says that, that at a point she even got her head broken, her hand broken 3 weeks ago with the same man. He threw a chair at her when she busted him with another woman. You understand? So how should children react to situations like this when they know that one of their parents is an abuser? Because abuse could come from a woman, it could come from a man. Because this young man has sincerely or practically disowned his parents. In fact, he even went as far to say that it's a grief that I live with, having to mourn my parents while they're still alive, and it's the reason I tell my story. So he's already given up on both of them, as if they were already dead. So is it fair that he's leaving his mother in that condition, knowing that it could actually lead to her death? Or was it going to be better too if he had interfered and people will not say, why are you putting your mouth in your parents' conversation or condition? Please, you should advise people. Let people know.
Let me take it from that.
Thank you, sir.
First and foremost, we need to understand that...
that is what God has joined together.
Please.
Sorry, sir.
Precious.
Sir? Okay, sir.
Whether God has joined marriage or not, man and woman together.
He didn't join anything.
You cannot remove a narcissist and a gaslighter from a relationship. These are two different individuals. A narcissist is somebody who feeds off you. A gaslighter is someone who do evil things to you in the closet, but in the public is somebody everybody wants to be with. So he enjoys it. The truth of the matter is, yes, the children have a right to interfere so long as there's bodily harm, there's emotional breakdown, there is hatred. The children have a right. If the home is not conducive, the children grow up to become monsters themselves. And that is why I've always said to parents, if you are in an abusive marriage and you say you are staying on in that marriage because of your children, you are equally abusing those children. So the children have a right to help.
All right. Barrister Darlington.
Yeah, What does the law say here? When two adults have decided to come together in marriage, whatever the decision they take is on them. But when there is violence and bodily harm and abuse, a third party needs to intervene. That third party may be the law, maybe your children, maybe neighbor, it may be in-laws. Because if anything happens, you may be called as an accomplice because you saw it going on, you witnessed it, and you didn't do anything. That is not the way to go. What is yours said now is beyond parents having disagreements. When physical abuse has come into the mix, then somebody had to step in. That is what the law says. If you allow any of them to die, then what did you gain? You have not gained anything. If you can't help it, call the law into this matter.
So, so he should call the police on his father.
Yes, because
wow.
You can't take laws into your hand. That's what I'm saying. That's what the law says.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Nigerians, phone lines are open. Let's take your thoughts and reactions to this. So,
in court as to what happened. Yes.
But the woman is clearly not willing to leave her marriage.
No. You don't know the psychological makeup that is,
it's playing out.
Yes.
Okay, 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp is 0817 175 6338. 0817-175-6338. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Yes, you're welcome.
Akuchi, baby.
Akuchi, you're not married though, but advise me, if it's your mother, what would you have done?
I will show them to God.
Chineke na me.
Yes. Oh, that's
like
yes,
sue them to court for giving you hypertension. That is killing you before you die. Thank you. Thank you. You have closed the matter. You have finished it. Hey, Barrister Talented.
Yes. That's my girl. That's my girl.
Phone lines are open, Lagos. 0700-903-903-903. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, my sister. Yes, in these issues now, since you are born in Nigeria, since independence, my name is Ote Metoke from Mozambique.
Yes.
Yes. Since you are born, I didn't hear any single immigration in Abuja with Mr. President, where the wizards and wizards about 300 come out to declare that you are on ground, that the Mr. President will not be scared of anything that are on the ground to protect you.
Precious, I remember saying this in that day. You
but I didn't
shut me down.
and say that the ability to come and lawyer to them.
Oh yeah, come and be going. We're done. The step down that we're doing. We don't want to have hypertension. That's why we're doing step down conversation. So if you want to contribute on the step down conversation, please do that.
I remember
please
saying
do that.
This the pressure did not allow me. I know that the result will come. I know.
Okay.
I cannot give you anything free.
0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, you're welcome. You want to respond to the step down conversation? That's the only thing you can respond to now. Go ahead.
Yes, I had a similar experience.
Oh wow! With your parents or someone else?
My name is Victor. I'm calling from Kenya.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Victor.
Okay, so there was a time.
Victor, your line is not clear. I wish it's clear. Victor, I would really love to hear from you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, better. Go ahead.
Okay, so she was in school and I had issues to a point. She's in her last year now. She had issues and the pressure from the Nigerian situation and all of that. I couldn't, provide for her the way I supposed to.
Were you married to her at that time?
So much. Yes, we were married before she.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
I sent her to school.
Okay.
So things were not okay like before, and I had issues and went to prison. And then when I came back, I was not able to take care of her as I supposed to. As I'm supposed to. So we started having this issue. And then pressure started coming up. Comparing me to other people and all of that. So
she was comparing you to other people. Your network is also distorting again. I really love to hear you.
Wow. So, and then she was like, why are things like this and all of that? So we started having issues.
If you can help us summarize too.
Okay, so there's emotion. So when we had issues and we quarreled, I was angry with her, but she was right, but I couldn't be myself. So I felt sick. That I went back to her and knelt down and begged her so much that she shouldn't be angry.
But did you beat her?
I cannot withstand the emotions.
Did you beat her that time you had issues? When you had issues, did you beat her?
No.
You didn't hit her?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So I now went back and knelt before her because she's carrying my children and she loves me so much and she's a very spiritual person. Each time she's happy with me, I get good things. Each time she's not happy, things will not get
my network is not allowing us to enjoy this, your gist.
No, summarize.
So can you help us summarize what happened later now?
So there's high level of emotion that comes with it. You may even end up in the hospital if you don't forgive, if you don't take them back. You may end up in the hospital. People around may be saying a lot of things, but you alone know what you are going through. It's better you forgive, then accept them back, so that you will not kill yourself, so that you will not die.
But I hope you're fine together now.
Yeah. Yes, we are fine together.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We are fine.
All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Mr. Ikenman.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good thanks to all of you.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, concerning the conversation that is on ground, I want to first ask a question.
Yes, please.
How many years would a man got before he could get married? Likewise, women.
There's no age in this thing. If you feel like you want to marry, you marry now. It's only men that can marry at 60, 70, but women.
So women cannot marry at 60, 70, Barrister Darlington.
Which family are you going to?
Are you serious? Barrister Darlington, you're living in 1852.
It's true.
Even in 1852, 60.
If you have a brother, let him go and marry a 60-year-old woman.
Did a prominent Daddy G or not marry a woman that is getting married for the first time, and she was in her 60s when he married her? A prominent Daddy G.
Leave that thing.
What is it? Hey, Barrister Darlington, I'm scared of your take on women.
No. What did he do with her? Are you sure that woman is the person giving him joy?
Are you so? Oga, just finish your talk. I don't want to enter Barrister Darlington. So an older woman cannot give joy.
Yeah, what are you going to do there?
Are you serious? Yeah, well done, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So you don't like the truth
about this? Myself, before I got married, I studied so many things. I listened to so many messages.
Okay. So if you help me summarize, because time is against me already.
Okay. Let me summarize it. I believe in this institution, if one is not mentally mature, there's no way he or she can get married, and we cannot be seeing all this kind of complaints. Thank you.
No, I totally
Thank you.
When a man is abusive in marriage, it has nothing to do with maturity. It's not about maturity. It's just a mindset the man has. Abusive men, there are people who are abusive because they want to be abusive.
They grew up in an abusive
environment.
That's why we
my time has finished. Oya Jova, answer quick, sharp. Time has finished.
I heard somebody say they will sue somebody to court in this particular case.
Yes.
Which court?
Hurry up, we are done.
Anyways. Barrister Darlington. Anyways. Yeah, we'll support your motion.
Yes.
We'll take the person to court, but not in Nigerian court. Precious, good night.
Thank you, good night. Thank you so much.
To save somebody's life.
Thank you so much. So I go to YouTube where I have quite couple of reactions. Blessing say, I love the way Prince Prince, the way he said to Precious, please. Okay. Samuel Ikechiago says, may God save us in this country. Chinedu said, Barrister Darlington is always on point. Marriage is not a battleground, neither do or die. We should leave God alone in all this conversation. That's what you said. And then to WhatsApp, this says, Lady Precious, I saw your picture today. You're so beautiful. I like you. You're doing a great job. It's not your knowing. Thank you. Let me blush a bit. All right. Your parting shot, gentlemen. My time is already fast spent.
Well, for me, I think we need to rejig our judicial system. We need to have a system that is empathic, filled with justice, and not a system that talks about legality alone. Also, this whole idea of cash transfer has to end. We need to end the regime of palliative. Palliative is not for a country where you have men and women that are hardworking. Let us apply wisdom in all our dealings.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Precious.
Sir?
Those who are closer to President Tinubu should tell him that from the look of things are not going well, and his bag of tricks are running out. All the things he's trying to do, thinking that he has suppressed Nigeria, everybody's aware. And the worst thing that can happen to a man is when people realize that you are playing on their intelligence. The what do you call now? The gatekeepers are gathering, and I'm sure he may not even know. Go and check over the history. Those who are supporting your infamy are the same people who will tell you, Oga, time is up.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone who's been part of the show. Thank you for your calls or reactions. And I would rather beg the Nigerian government, please, let's set a precedent that we are sure that will not destroy our nation in future. We have only this country to call ours. We don't have another one. So I do hope that what we're doing today is what we'll be proud of tomorrow, even when we're frail and weak at old age. I appreciate everyone who's been a part of the show. My name is Precious, and I'll see you again on Monday evening, God willing. And to you Nigerians, please protect him.